Hey, better late than never. That's what I always say, ladies and gentlemen. This is it, the one and only Google Pixel 4a, launching in Canada on September the whatevereth. Who cares? Because everyone else has already made videos about this, so we're just going for it here, ladies and gentlemen. The Pixel 4a is part of an overall industry trend that, honestly, I'm surprised didn't take off sooner. Being hands-on with it, I do wonder if things might have gone a little bit too far here. It's really plasticky feeling. You know what it reminds me of is like the old Nexus 5. Top spec, like really good hardware, but with an unapologetically plastic build quality that helped to justify the low price. And a low price it does have. At just $350 US, the Pixel 4a on paper looks like the best bang for the buck for someone who cares about the photos they can take with their smartphone, but not necessarily the raw gaming horsepower. Let's get this puppy fired up here. This video is brought to you by Private Internet Access. With PIA, you can access services and websites online as though you are in a different country. PIA encrypts all your internet traffic and uses a safe, protected IP, and you can connect up to 10 devices at once with a single account with clients for Windows, macOS, Android, Linux, and iOS. Buy a 1-year plan for $39.95 and get 2 months free at the link in the video description. Let's have a look at the accessories real quick here. Okay, got your SIM removal tool, got your wall wart. Let's see, is this a fast charger? 9-volt 2A? Fast, but not super fast. Whoopsie daisies. Type-C to Type-C, and then I believe this puppy is for transferring data or something like that. You know how it feels in the hand though, Brandon? Friendly. It's one-handable. That's something that honestly, I, as someone with smaller hands, have really missed about flagship devices. But it's not too small. Just like you've seen on some of Apple's lower end devices. I wouldn't describe it as a thick bezel, but you've got like a mid-size bezel all the way around, as opposed to, you know, what we used to see as the sort of the trendier move, which was kind of your wraparound display on the side and then a bigger forehead or chin. I still absolutely hate hole punch displays, and I can't wait for this atrocious industry trend to go away, but on a $350 device, I'm a lot more willing to overlook, you know, why they couldn't engineer an under-screen display, or, you know, a pop-up or a flip around or whatever else the case may be. I'm already really coming around to it. So it's got a rear fingerprint sensor, which it's not state of the art. You know, there's no face, you know, dot scanning thing. There's no under-screen fingerprint sensor or anything like that. But as a daily driver Note 9 user, I, the vast majority of the time, just use my rear fingerprint scanner, even though I do have an iris scanner. Anyway, like it is something that I've really gotten used to over the years. Wow, that was a really fast fingerprint setup. Okay, so it's coaching me on gestures. This is not a good initial setup gesture coaching thing though, because I've seen better ones that force you to actually perform the gestures before allowing you to move on. There's no squeeze. That's something that's missing on this Pixel device compared to previous ones. Honestly, there's gonna be quite a few Pixel experience things that you're not gonna enjoy here. So for one thing, that is a single camera setup. It's actually still got this gigantic camera bump as though it did have multiple cameras, which has led to some speculation about the upcoming 5G version of the Pixel 4a maybe having more than just 5G added to it, because it's gonna be $150 more compared to what we might expect from an upcoming flagship Pixel device, like a non-A variant. There's no high refresh rate display, and the hardware is quite pedestrian. So even compared to the Pixel 3, the Pixel 4a is not a super fast performer. Its 730G chipset is even slower than what you'd find in similar concept devices like the LG Velvet and the OnePlus Nord. It's got just 6 gigs of RAM and is only available with 128 gigs of storage, even though there's no micro SD expansion. It's got just a 3140 milliamp hour battery, and even the camera, which Pixel devices are famous for, is just a 12 megapixel single lens affair. But what I'm expecting Google to get right with this device is, of course, the little things. The haptic feedback on this phone, in spite of it being a mid-tier to entry-level device, is really good. I don't know that other than the iPhone SE, I have ever seen that before, because that's the kind of little touch that manufacturers who focus too much on specs and not enough on experience tend to overlook. Another big one is software, starting with display calibration. This is something that Google and Apple both take very seriously, whereas a lot of other smartphone brands are all about, pumping up the vibrancy at the expense of true to life colors. We actually shoot our videos at 18:9, and you can see that Google appears to have positioned their hole punch so that 16:9 content won't cut off. But if you're watching videos that are in a more cinematic aspect ratio, it looks like the default behavior is to just have a hole in your content, something that just is always going to bother me, unfortunately. I will say though that if you had told me I was gonna see an OLED display of this quality on a $350 mobile device just, 3 short years ago, I'd have told you were freaking nuts. Wow, this is even on adaptive mode, but there's hardly any difference between natural and adaptive. Thank you, Google. I would even leave this adaptive mode on. It's really not bad. So on the bottom, you got your Type-C port as well as speaker ports. On the left, you got a whole lot of not much other than a SIM tray. On the top, whoa! Hey, you got a noise canceling microphone and a headphone jack. And then over on the right, you got your lock button as well as your volume up and volume down. Quick double click there. It's gonna launch the camera. Let's just take a couple quick snaps. I'm idly curious. Man, they just get it so close to what your eye actually sees, don't they? That looks way too sharp to just be 12 megapixels. You gotta love all their AI nonsense, hey? So far, this is Pixel exclusive, although I wouldn't be too surprised to see it rolled out to others in the future. But you can actually use the same AI nonsense that Google uses to take a single lens shooter like this one and apply background bokeh in post and use that on your old photos as well. Like previous Google Pixel devices, there's unlimited high quality now, not unlimited quality, but high quality storage for both photos and videos, which will help a little bit at least with the fact that it's only got 128 gigs of storage on board. I wanna know if it has an amplified earpiece speaker. That's a really big one for me.
Introducing the product that we are both
it's got one.
reviewing today and creating today's video.
Not bad. The speakers aren't
Asus
great.
PA32 UC.
And there's a fair bit of device vibration. It doesn't feel premium when you've got the volume turned up.
And support for HDR10, HLG, and Dolby Vision.
A little bit
all
of
at a
distortion.
whopping 1,002.
But it gets loud, it's stereo, it sounds not bad. This thing is gonna be popular, you guys. It's all about delivering, that premium experience, but selectively in the places where people actually care about it. 3 years of committed software updates. You get that pixel quality camera processing, but you get it for $350 because you don't need a crazy multi-camera setup, a giant screen, and all that other fancy stuff. There's no wireless charging, nothing like that. But it's responsive enough as long as you've never experienced a high refresh rate display. I don't think you would look at this and go, oh, ew, 730G, I simply cannot use it to, call my acquaintances. Oh, I don't have a SIM in it, so that's why I was trying to call you, Brandon. If my brother or my aunt or whatever, not enthusiasts, but obviously they want a device that just freaking works, was like, hey, what phone should I get? This or the iPhone SE are looking pretty compelling. The one area where this falls behind the SE is that I would expect Apple, especially given that they've got a flagship level SoC in that thing, to provide support for it for longer. So it's gonna come down to kind of how long you wanna use your device for. The iPhone SE is really a very compelling option right now, actually. Manufacturers are starting to really bang that drum, and you've got Apple and Google on board now. Maybe we're gonna see the end of the $1,200 phone. Or maybe we won't. And they'll be a little bit better and you can pay a lot more. I guess that's fine too. You know what else is fine? Subscribing to Short Circuit.